Alrighty, hello and welcome once again to Barandar Streams. Today we are taking a look at the game Empire TV Tycoon. This is actually a really good tycoon game. It's more of a relaxed tycoon game, whereas you're not going to be pushed to your limits trying to make decisions on certain things. There's more than enough to do in the game. But it's more relaxed and fun, little tongue-in-cheek. The graphics, as you can see, are a little retro-looking, with tons of TV references throughout the game. A little Doc Brown reference up here. This guy, remember, Short Circuit, I think. You got a little Avengers symbol down here. You got Walter White. You got Silent Bob, Pulp Fiction. So you got a lot of references going on all over. And basically, what you do is you choose between one of three different channels: either the blue channel, the green channel, or the red channel. And you can rename your channels to whatever you want. You get your channel owner per se. And you're in the building. The building houses all three channels at once, and depending on which color you choose, you're situated in a different part of the building. So blue is near the bottom, green is in the middle, red is at the top, and there are different areas that you need to visit throughout the building as the game goes on. So the main floor here where we come in has the newspaper and any special events that are going on. Today happens to be a movie awards day. On the following day, there'll be an event going on where you can send out a reporter to get a special news broadcast, and then it'll go back to the movie awards and bounce back and forth. I am playing on an endless mode. There is another competition mode where you have to go to a certain amount of fame points, which are represented here, in order to win the game. Downstairs on the bottom floor is your movie cellar, where you can buy and sell films. Outside, where Silent Bob is your illegal movie cellar, so you can buy things like XXX films and some films that are imported and whatnot. But unless you have yourself a hacker working for you, it's generally you can get caught and fined. So we don't usually use him too much since there's plenty of movies for sale and whatnot. On the higher floors, and we'll walk and take a look around. First, grab our newspaper. The Oscars are tonight for Best Sci-Fi Production. So, and he'll be waiting until a certain time of day. So we have our technology area where we can go up to with Doc Brown. He'll have upgrades for us. We have them all currently, but he'll give you upgrades on your movies. You'll first start out with low ranked movies, 5s and 6s and whatnot, and then you can upgrade to 7s and 8s and then 9s and 10s, so you'll get better choices of films as you go. And this other guy here handles your satellites. Okay, so you get to pick different satellites as your fame increases, and wherever you plop them down, the little pictures, if they're filled in, will tell you what kind of audience groups you'll gain from that. And you want to be careful on that. I did start this game as a general broadcast station, so I can pretty much broadcast to any group whatsoever. But it gets very difficult as certain groups don't like certain content. So, kids and horrors don't generally do that well. Kids and drama don't usually go that well. Geeks and romance don't go that well. So you have to really be careful about your audience. After a while, I started tailoring more towards the majority groups. So pretty much the only two I don't have are really ladies and lovers and some of the athletes. I do have a few athletes in there, and seniors are very hard to go with. But generally kids and geeks, rockers like horrors, adults like pretty much anything, comedies and actions. Old people like westerns, so you can work them together if you can find something. So basically, you just look around. You'll get a certain amount of viewers, a certain amount of audience groups. So let's pick this one. It doesn't really matter, and that'll drop our 16th antenna, which will increase our viewership rating and whatnot. So other groups, and the elevator is first come, first serve. So that's what kind of matters with the size of the building. If we go all the way up to the top, there's a restaurant at the very top. That's where you can ask for a loan, which I haven't needed, fortunately. I do have my own studio, which is here, where I can hire actors and make my own productions. And then you also have a workers floor. You'll get more desks as you go. I guess up to 4 here, which is maxed out. So you do have an audience analysis here, which as they go, they will tell you what groups are going to be watching your TV programming. Your marketing manager is very important, as she can give you all these extra boosts, TV spots, campaigns, radio ads, stuff like that to boost your audiences. And then I have my 2 script writers for different in-house productions that I can create myself. So basically, when you start your day, you want to pick up your news broadcast for the day, which is here. So you pick up all your news for the day. We have action news, we have Western news, documentaries, game shows, and romance. And basically what these do is they will boost any content that you have that matches, or will add, if you have less than 3 groups, it will add an extra group of people onto you based on what you are adding. So like if you add the game show news, I can add lovers onto it, which is exactly what I'm going to do here for our second movie, which is a romance. I only had women viewing at this point, so we're going to add lovers onto here, and romance is right up their alley, so we should have good viewership for that. We're kicking off the day with The Simpsons, since we have women and children and geeks. Oh my, it was easier to have a cult cartoon. The cult will appeal to the geeks and kids, and the cartoon will appeal to the both of them, and the comedy will cover the ladies. So you can see how it works. Basically, you'll have a movie inventory that you can purchase from downstairs, all different categories: sports, westerns, sci-fi, horrors, fantasies, documentaries, romance, whatever. Each one of them will have a rating as to how good it is, and it will tell you the year that it was made, a little bit about it. They do use real world movies, although they sometimes tweak a few wordings of it, but it at least gives you that feeling that you're doing something. And then you have your own movies, which you can create. And they can win awards. This trophy here means it won Best Picture. And any movie that you have does have a chance to become a cult classic if it's good, played at certain times. I have a couple of cult classics here, like The Fish Queen. My 2020 fantasy became a cult classic. Why, I don't know. The pictures here, these are number of blocks. This is how much space it takes up. So it's an hour block, 2 hour block, 3 hour block. So this is a 1 hour, this is 2 hours, such and so forth. Times here are in military, so it's 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5, all the way up to midnight to 2 a.m. So this is what you would program for the day. You can see your yesterday's programming and how well you did on your viewerships. And as well as what's coming up tomorrow. But you only get a look ahead so far, depending on your marketing agent. You'll be able to see what types of people you have are going to be viewing. The first hour of the day, up to 1500, is pretty much free play, where you can prep and set up and get ready for the day. And over here are your TV ads. This is where you make your money. So you go up to your TV ad guy. He's up on floor 4 or something like that. And you'll buy ads. Ads require a certain amount of plays and a certain amount of people to watch, and sometimes a specific type of person. So, for example, this first ad of the day is geared towards kids. You need to have kids in your audience, and you need a minimum of 28 million for this particular ad. Since I have such a big broadcasting center, requires more people. And as you can see, the reward will go if you finish the ad campaign, and you get a penalty if you don't meet it in time. You have a certain amount of time to fill the blocks up. And that's pretty much how it rolls. So now the day's kicking off. Your first marketing news will play, and you can see your TV channel down here. I can also check the other channels and see what they're running if I like. And this will be your couch view of your different stereotypes that are watching at the moment. And then you'll get little views as to how well or not well they like the content that you're currently playing at this point, which will gain you fame points, which you can see here. So Simpsons, big comedy, 9.1. Children, very happy. Women, very happy. Geeks, happy. So that's pretty much how you would read those. It'll go to a yellow, which is neutral, and then it'll go to a frowny face, which is unhappy, and then it'll go to a red frowny face, which they really don't like. And you can gauge that on your game statistics here, which are your fans. All right, as you can see, certain groups I cater to at this point. So men, children, some rockers, and geeks mostly. Athletes I do cover, but I don't get enough of them, and I can't really play anything content specific because they're usually mixed in with kids or geeks, and I got to make it a sporting cartoon or something. Romance, every time I play a romance, I cover them. You know, when they're here, when ladies and lovers are there, I usually cover them with content, but they're just not happy, and old people, you know, just can't always please them. We do what we can. Economy-wise, you can check your incomes, your outcomes, how much you spent on movies and workers and ads and whatnot, miscellaneous penalties and everything like that. And you can see your balance. So I'm slightly ahead, but I do spend a lot of money reshuffling things. So, and then you can see your viewer counts versus the other two broadcastings and what they actually ran during that course of the day against these particular audience. And so now today, for example, we have a special event. We have the Oscars. So this is a sci-fi event. So if you happen to have a sci-fi movie that you haven't submitted, which I do, I have a anime here that I created that I could submit, but we want to run through the process. So what you would do is you go to your script writers up here, and you would have them create content for you. And then once they create a script, you'll get a rating somewhere between bad and masterwork quality, being the best. So we go and look at our script here. Our script writer is pretty good for sci-fi, so she happened to create a masterwork quality script. We take a look at our other script writer, who is also good and has also created a masterwork quality script. So we're just going to take one of these for now. So you can read the description. It'll basically mix in a whole bunch of different sci-fi words or whatever the category is. It'll mix in different terms and words, and it creates kind of a funny little story. And then you just got to name it. So this one deals with smugglers, SMUGGLARS, blues. There we go. So that'll be our script. So we'll save our script there. If we want to have them write a script, each script writer has different categories. You can see here. Let's click this, so you can see how good they are. It's a ranking from 1 to 10 on how well they write certain genres, and the more they write, the better they get in genres up to a certain point. So my other scriptwriter kind of fills in the holes like fantasy and things that this scriptwriter doesn't do well, and vice versa. But over time, they've both become pretty good. So, but you can have them create whatever you want. You can choose scripts. You can write spin-offs, sequels, things of that nature. Like if I wanted to write a prequel or spin-off, I can pick any of the movies that I've made already, and I can write a spin-off for it. Once they have the script, I can hire the same actors, that type of thing. So let's go up and let's put our sci-fi into production here. So we have it ready to go for later. So we go to the studio, and we'll go to our actors. So we're going to work on the Smuggler's Blues, which we just created. And now these are your list of actors. Pretty clearly, like Dwayne The Rock, obviously. And they'll have a rankings themselves on how good they are at certain films. We're looking at sci-fi, which is a little alien head, top right corner. You can see it's highlighted yellow. So this guy is an 8 at sci-fi. We have a 6, 8, a 6, a 5, a 6, a 5, a 9, 8, and a 7. So basically Jack Kuko and any one of these 8s would probably be the best for the film. But I mean, how could you not have Dwayne The Rock Johnson, right? All right, let's take throw The Rock in there. Hopefully The Rock can pick up my film a little bit. I don't know how he's going to be at sci-fi, but doesn't really matter. We'll roll with them. All right, so we pay the actors. After you pay the actors, you go to your director's chair here. And what you get is a certain amount of points that you can spend. And it depends on how much you increase your studio value. You'll get more points to distribute on all these different areas of your movie. From cameos to makeup to love scenes to reality to sound effects, visual, and whatnot. Once you submit your movies, you'll get a ranking based on how well you distributed your resources. So we'll take a look at my 9.1 anime sci-fi here, and these are the rankings that I got. So they give me a good ratings, and it tells me this movie's never been submitted, and it tells me who it is and whatnot. So if we look at something that I have submitted, like Funeral Clown, my best-selling horror, you can see this is all A's, and it won 4 out of 5 Oscars. It won Best Movie, Best Script, Best Leading, Best Secondary. It didn't win Best Director. I got hosed. But we did create Funeral Clown 2, the sequel, so I'm waiting for a horror for that to pop up. So let's take our sci-fi here. We'll take Tentacle Planet, and we'll look at our numbers here. So cameo roles was down. 1 was too low. Visual effects and everything else is pretty good. So we're going to use these points. We're going to distribute them out here. And then we're going to see if we can get our cameo rolls up a little bit to make this an A. So we have all these A pluses. We can probably drop down a little bit. I don't want to take down the visual effects. We could probably drop the eroticism down. Don't need that many love scenes here. See if I can get another couple points. I got 1 in cameos. I want to see if I can get 1 more in there. Costume scenes. Post-production, I really don't want to kill. Original score was down a little bit too. All right, so let's drop our reality doses down 1. We need to get our original score up here. Another point. Don't have enough points for that. All right, we'll have to drop this down to get some real deal here. 3-4, that should cover it. So that's at a 3, and the original score now is at an 8. Put reality doses back on 1. That should be good. And then we go see. We hit continue. Oh yeah, right. We have to pick our format. So if we want a mini TV show, a TV series, a long one, which is 15 episodes instead of 10. A 1 block, a 2 block, or a 3 block. So we're going to make ourselves a standard movie here. That's a 2-hour film. It'll cost us 75 mil, 3 hours to produce, nice and quick. And then you have your choice if you want to add something. If you want to make it adults only, like a 16 or older kind of thing, or if you want to make a XXX film, or a glamour that will suit ladies. Or a cartoon for the kids, or an anime specific, that type of thing. So we're just going to make it a default film, no special modifier, and we're going to submit. And then that movie will tick down as the day moves on, and throughout the day you'll get certain events that will pop up relating to the movie that we'll have to make decisions on, that will have a bearing on how good the movie is at the end. Alright, so we have until 2200 to submit our film for the awards ceremony here. Right now, we're still running on this movie. We still have a spot here we have to fill for the kids. I wanted to see what kind of marketing we got here. We have action, western, romance. So we can add adults. We can add some men onto this category here. Children and men should get along watching a nice action film. We're going to throw probably 24 in there. A little Jack Bauer action, I think, for their brains. So we have my romance that will kick off, then the never-ending story. We'll roll that out for the kids, geeks, and men. That should go well. It's a cult. 24, and then a cult anime that I created. This is a sport anime I did specifically to cover kids, geeks, and athletes when I get them in there. It actually worked out pretty good. Tsubasa is a cult anime in real life. They're actually very good on their movie selections. There's everything is covered, and I'm pretty shocked at their anime selections. They have pretty much most of them listed here. All right, I think we're looking good. Let's go take a look at what our guy has for sale down in the movie vault. Now I'm at 45 out of 47, and we're going to pick up the movie that we're making. So we're pretty close to maxed out on film. So I might have to sell some if I want to buy anything. We have E.T., Fate Stay Night, great anime. Friday 13th, Mythbusters, Ratatouille, Rockstar, The Natural, good movie. Warrior, nothing I really want. I can spend this to re-roll the categories, but there's nothing pressing that I really need at this point, so we're pretty good on that. Alright, go back to the office. As you can see, the women are enjoying it, and the lovers are loving the romance. And it's a romance that I made, so it doesn't cost me more than the production value of it to gain the viewers. So if we look at our game statistics, we can see right now we're running top dog here. We have 58 million viewers watching currently to 22 to 8. Things do good with the economy. We're looking all right. So we're basically just waiting on our production to finish here. We have all of our marketing set. We're going to start getting ads for tomorrow, so we're going to speed things up a little bit here. Start cutting through some time. All right, so now we got to slow down here for a minute. We just got a message, and we have something going on in our production. They don't like the food catering. Do I want to spend $5 grand to get a new catering service? Yeah, sure. Take care of the Rock, will you? There, please. The Rock's a big guy. He gotta eat. Gotta take care of the guy if he's gonna work on a movie. It is what it is. This here, by the way, is a band. So in case I want to run a 16 or older kind of film or something that I would need to ban a group, I can click on them and ban kids, for example. Or if I don't like the grouping, like if I wanted to take rockers out of this, for example, or the women out of this, I could do it and just run something specifically for them. But with rockers, geeks, and women, and rockers and geeks, I might be able to get away with a nice horror if I get a cult horror. The Walking Dead always goes over well. Actually, not a good time for my film. The little bar at the bottom here also is a freshness rating. As you can see, this particular one, like 24 here, has a freshness of 100. And this movie here has now a freshness of 48% because we just played it. So, and the freshness will go down to 0. And then over the course of hours, the freshness will recharge itself. So when you have these series that have episodes like this is 5 and 10, I could theoretically put one on in the morning, one on at night, and get away with it. But I'll usually wait till the next day to play it, as I have a big enough library. And if I don't think I'm going to hit my numbers for whatever reason, I do have other marketing employees I can add, to boost my audiences in certain blocks or add people. But right now we're pretty good on all our ads and everything. So the Never-Ending Story is on, it's rolling. Everybody's happy with it. We're running over 80 million people. And I just want to finish up my day here. So I would like some kind of a horror. I guess The Walking Dead will cover this category pretty good. And then for the men and geeks, the rockers and geeks at the end of the night, I have a couple of anime horrors that I could roll in there. I could probably get away with a cult anime, cult sci-fi rather. Not Star Wars, we don't break that out unless we need it. That movie does good. Let's see. complex film I can roll out. But we'll wait on that. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to finish off the day with a cult horror anime that I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce. And Monster will probably be the end of the day one. Episode 3. So these are anime horror, cult horrors, so they're going to cover the rockers and the geeks, no problems. I should have high ratings there, no problems hitting everything. So, alright, we got another message here. Alright, so every day you're also going to get one of these kind of optional quests where you can, your fans, the people that watch your show will request a certain movie of a certain rating. Sometimes there'll be a year on there that you'll need to be over or under, like they might say minimum of 2000, so you have to get something from that was produced in 2000 or later, and a specific rating. So here they're looking for a comedy, minimum of 7.1 rating to fill a spot, and they want it to be right here where I was going to run this film. So let's see if we can accommodate them. Comedy, a cartoon would probably do well. So what do they want? They just want a 7.1 comedy. So how about South Park? South Park's an 8.6. It's a comedy. It's a cartoon, so it should cover everything. Do I have a cult comedy? I do Simpsons, but I ran the Simpsons first show of the day. So as you can see, the freshness might or might not get back up by that spot of the day. So I don't want to chance it. I should be fine with that. All right. So now back to our production problems. As you can see, production is halted for another issue. Opportunity Appear Travel Company offers you a travel pack to a few European countries. So you can use this pack to record some beautiful scenery. Why not? Good choice, well spent. You have many interesting. See that? Beautiful. I mean, you know, you send the rock takes care of you, you take care of the rock. That's how it works, baby. Alright. So everything is producing well here. Let's advance our time frame a little bit. Get this movie produced. Pause and see how our show's going. So Never Ending Story, in its second hour, we are now to 91 million people watching it. Everybody loves a Never Ending Story. How could you not? Alright. We're still good here. We're just waiting for this to finish. I'm going to advance it. Uh-oh. We had a problem right at the end. Making the movie new technology appeared. Reality goggles. VR reality goggles. Sure. We'll take those too. Results are incredible. I mean, I can't see this movie being a failure. I just can't see it. Okay. Let's proceed forward. Alright. And our movie is finished. Let's just take a quick look at everything. We hit our marketing. Going to be going into our action news. We have 24 playing next for children and men. We should be good there. Now we're going to go take a look at our film and see how it did. We'll get an instant rating, a release rating on how it did. Alright. 8.4, cult classic they say. 9.1, 9.5, 9.2, 8.8. The Rock was good, Jack Kuko was good, the movie's rating at 9, so it's 8.7 overall, 9 total, so this should be pretty good to submit to the Oscars. Don't know what we're going to win, but we're going to send it in anyway. Gonna head down to the entrance of the building. Now we could send my anime, Tentacle Planet in, which is a little higher ranked, but we're going to take a chance on our new movie. We'll see how Smuggler's Blues does in the awards ceremony a little later on today. Now, as far as that other script goes, I mean, you don't want to waste a masterwork quality script here. So, this is about image, T-I-C-P-O-I-C, there you go, Galactic Police, lovely, save script. Now you can change that script yourself. You can rewrite the entire thing if you want to have your actual own wording in there for your script, however you want to do it. But for now, that'll save the script. I can save up to 5 of them, so I can write a new script at any point that I want. When you do write a prequel or a sequel or a spin-off, you get extra points to add on to your previous production. So that's one way that you can make it a little better than the earlier films were. Alright, so we're going to go back to fast forwarding here, since everything is done. We're going to see if we can get to the rosters. We're going to see how we did, and then we're probably going to end off our stream here. Let's see how our Super Baseball Punch-Out is doing. Slow this up for a half second. So as you can see, this is a sport anime, which wound up becoming a cult classic, but the athletes are still covered by the sports, and the kids are still covered. These also will count as females. If I were to do something like a glamour movie, these would both count as females. They don't necessarily represent only female athletes, but it's all athletes and all children. But they basically cover their bases so that you have like 4 male groups and 4 female groups, so that it's an even split. And then you have the elderly, which I had a rash of yesterday. As you can see here, elders. A lot of westerns ran yesterday in my show. Okay, so we'll fast forward a little bit through this. Get to the second hour of this. As you can see, still holding at 91. How we doing on the day here? We are still killing it. Best audience is this movie. Wow. Who would have guessed? Till we get to our sci-fi awards and see how we did. Captain Tsubasa. 86 million, everybody likes it. Alright, we're in the rosters now. Fast forward till we get towards the end of it. Now, once you get to the end of the rosters broadcast, basically every channel, as you can see, is broadcasting. And you'll get whatever audience you get. It's just random as how it builds, regardless. You can't do any marketing or anything on it. So it is what it is, as it were. But at the end of it, you'll get a little note that will pop up, and it will tell you how good your film did. The awards, and whether it won anything. And you'll gain fame for your channel, depending on whether or not you did. Alright, so let's see how we did. The Academy Award winner, best time ever. We did not win best film. I won best director, yeah. I won best script. Won best leading actor. Dwayne The Rock did not win best secondary. So we didn't win best picture, which is bullshit, but that's okay. So at least I got best director, best script, best secondary. So it's won a few awards. And that's basically how it goes. The ins and the outs. The best thing I've been able to make so far that I haven't submitted would be the sequel to Funeral Clown, which is a 9.9. I still haven't hit a 10.0 yet, but that's pretty close. So next time we get a horror, we're going to submit that. And then we'll just take a look at our... that should be it. We should hit this, no problem. Comedy 7-1. Everybody's enjoying The Walking Dead, of course. Not like in real life. We're down to 33 million on it, but I mean, it's still... This is the slow part of the day when you don't get that many viewers and still get 31 million viewers. And that's pretty much how the game will play. It's kind of relaxed. if you're playing a more of a versus game where you're going head to head against the other companies, there's a little more competition for the actual hourly views. There was a little bit more in the beginning of the game for me. If I go back here, back to like day 1 or 2, as you can see, day 1, as the blue, I wasn't doing very good. I got a few categories in there until I figured out how to play the game here, and then from there on, I just blew out the competition for the rest of the eternity, as it were. But the game will play continuously forever in a loop like this. Every other day, you get in different categories and whatnot, or you can play it head-to-head. So it's, like I said, it's more of a relaxed kind of game, something you can chill with. It is available on Steam. I believe it's around $15 US. I'm not 100% on the pricing of it, but definitely worth the buy, definitely worth the look if you're looking for a nice, relaxing sim tycoon game. And that's about all I got on this, and thank you for watching.